Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you are doing fine. I'm Cikgu Azira from SK Tunku Bendahara. Today, we're going to learn from Unit 3, Family Ties, and our focus is reflexive pronouns. Our lesson objective for today, so by the end of the lesson, you will be able to, first, differentiate singular and plural reflexive pronouns. Second, able to use reflexive pronouns correctly and appropriately in a sentence. Okay, before we start our lesson, let's take a look at personal pronouns. Okay, do you still remember them? Personal pronouns are used to represent people, animals, or things. The following are personal pronouns: I, you, he, she, it, they, and we. Okay. So today we are going to learn about reflexive pronouns. What is a reflexive pronouns? Reflexive pronouns. Okay. A reflexive pronouns refers back to the subject of the sentence. So when you read a sentence, you must know where is the subject. It can also be used to give more emphasis to the subject of the object. A reflexive pronouns is formed by adding self, S-E-L-F, or selves, S-E-L-V-E-S, to the personal pronouns. There are 8 reflexive pronouns. Okay, first, let's take a look at singular reflexive pronouns. Singular means one person. Okay, so first, we take a look at this. We add S-E-L-F to my, your, him, her, it. So they will become myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself. Next, we are going to take a look at plural reflexive pronouns. Plural means more than one. We add S-E-L-V-E-S, selves, to our, your, and them. As you can see here, they will become ourselves, yourself, themselves. If you can see the difference, I hope you can see the difference, because when we use singular, it is used with S-E-L-F. But when it becomes plural, we use S-E-L-V-E-S. Okay? Next, let's take a look at the uses of reflexive pronouns. Okay, so before we go to the uses of reflexive pronouns, let's take a look at this table. This table is very important for you to remember the reflexive pronouns, which one match the personal pronouns. Okay, so let's take a look at the first one. It is I. It match with myself, you, yourself, he, himself, she, herself, it, itself. So when you identify a subject as a girl or as a woman, you use she, and then you use herself. When you want to identify a man or a boy, you use he, and then you use himself. Alright. It we can use for things and animals. For example, like the tiger was eating by itself. Okay. So let's take a look at plural. You, we, they. You, yourself. We, ourselves. They, themselves. So as you can see here, we have you twice. First is you for singular, one person. And then we have you for plural, more than one person. Either one must be used with the correct reflexive pronouns. You must read the full sentence to identify which one is for which reflexive pronouns. Okay, now let's go to the uses of reflexive pronouns. First, we use reflexive pronouns when the subject and object are the same. For example here, Diana painted the wall herself. So Diana is a girl. It's a common name for a girl. So here we must use herself. The subject, the underlying name Diana is the subject and herself is the object. Okay, let's take a look at the next use. Alright, we did the homework ourselves. So this is the first example. Okay, we is the subject, ourselves is the object. I bought myself a piece of cake. I is the subject and the object is myself, which is the reflexive pronouns for this sentence. Okay, next. Ali felt proud of himself when his father praised him. Ali is the subject. And then, as Ali is a guy, we choose himself for this sentence. Okay. The deer defended itself bravely. Why we use itself? Because deer is an animal. But if you know what is the gender of the animal, like your cat, you know it's a tomcat, so you can use himself. But now, in this sentence, we don't know the gender, so we use itself. The deer defended itself bravely. Our second uses of reflexive pronouns. Reflexive pronouns is also used to emphasize the subject. Emphasize here means to make something important or stress it to make sure that it's very important for a reader to know the subject. For example here, Ed Sheeran himself sang the final song. So himself here emphasizes the subject, which is Ed Sheeran, as a very important person who sings the song. Next, we also can use by before a reflexive pronoun to show the action is done without help from someone else. For example here, I cook the roasted chicken all by myself. So here, you use the word by to emphasize that it is done without any help from other people. But it is also correct if you don't use by. For example, it becomes like this. I cook the roasted chicken all myself. You can also use without the word by. Okay, let's take a look at next example of the uses. Okay, besides using by to show you do it on your own, it is also to show someone is alone. For example here, the old man lived by himself in the big house. So when you read this sentence, automatically you know that he is living alone. Or another sentence, the girl walked to the shop herself. So it means here she walked alone. So reflexive pronouns here is to show in a sentence that the subject is doing things alone. Okay, our third uses. Okay, we use reflexive pronouns as the subject of a preposition of and for when the object is the same as the subject of the verb. So we add another preposition of or for. We use these two. Okay, so for example, I feel proud of myself for winning the game. So the subject here is I. We add preposition of and the object is myself. So you can see I match with myself. Next, second example. Siti was feeling sorry for herself. Siti was feeling sorry for herself. So we use the word for there, preposition for. Siti is the subject and herself is the object. We use preposition for. You cannot use, this is wrong if you use like this. Siti was feeling sorry herself. That is wrong. So you must add preposition for. Siti was feeling sorry for herself. Next, we take a look at the third example. They had to cook for themselves. They is the subject and they had to cook is the verb. For themselves, for is the preposition and themselves is the reflexive pronouns. If you take away the word for, they had to cook themselves. So it is kind of wrong because it means like they cook themselves. Okay, so they had to cook for themselves. It means they cook for their own dinner. They themselves cook the food, then that is correct. That is okay. Okay, let's take a look at the questions that we can do our practice together. Okay, so let's practice. Complete the sentences with the correct reflexive pronouns. So we have 8 sentences there. Let's do it together first, okay? We read together the sentence. Nina, did you paint this picture? Okay. While we read, you can think of the answers and then we'll check later. We did the homework. Number 3, Harry cleaned the kitchen. Number 4, the kitten played the ball by. Number 5, the woman cut the grass. Number 6, please help to the food, he said to his guests. Daniel sewed the clothes for. And number 8 is a lovely party. We enjoyed very much. First, let's identify the subject of each sentences. Number 1, Nina, did you paint this picture? The subject is you. So I hope you can think of the answer. And number 2, we did the homework. The subject is we. Number 3, Harry cleaned the kitchen. The subject is Harry. Number 4, the kitten played the ball by. So the subject is the kitten. Number 5, the woman cut the grass. So the subject here is the woman. Number 6, please help to the food, he said to his guests. This is kind of different sentences. Usually we can find the subject at the front of the sentence. But now, the subject is at the end of the sentence. The subject is his guests. Number 7, Daniel sewed the clothes for. So the subject here is Daniel. And next, number 8 is a lovely party. We enjoyed very much. The subject here is we. Now let's take a look at the answers. Okay, Nina, did you paint this picture? So the subject is you. The answer is yourself. Y-O-U-R-S-E-L-F, because Nina here is a singular person. Okay, let's go to number 2. We did the homework. The subject here is we. So what is the answer? Ourself. O-U-R-S-E-L-V-E-S. Remember the table? We match we with ourselves. Number 3. Harry cleaned the kitchen. So Harry is a usual name for a man or a boy. So for Harry, the personal pronoun is he, and he we match with himself. for a boy. Himself, himself. Okay, let's go to number 4. The kitten played the ball by. So the kitten is an animal, and because we don't know the gender, so we use it as a personal pronoun. Now, reflexive pronoun for it is itself. I-T-S-E-L-F. Itself. Okay, let's go to number 5. The woman cut the grass. The woman cut the grass. So the woman is a female, okay? And we use personal pronoun she. So for she, we use herself. Herself. All right, let's go to number 6. Okay, please help to the food, he said to his guests. So he is talking to his guests. So when you are talking to someone, the personal pronoun you are using is you. So here, the correct answer is yourself. And guests is more than one. It's a plural. So the answer is yourselves. Yourself. More than one. Okay, let's go to number 7. Okay. Daniel sewed the clothes for, okay, Daniel is a common name for a boy or man. So here, you use he as the personal pronoun. So automatically, we use himself for the reflexive pronouns. Okay, let's go to number 8. It's a lovely party. We enjoyed very much. We is the subject. So for we use ourselves. O-U-R-S-E-L-V-E-S. Ourselves. All right. Good job, everyone. I hope you get the correct answers. Okay, so let's recall our lesson for today. So this table is very important for you to identify which reflexive pronouns match the personal pronouns. So I hope you can remember this table. Okay, let's take a look again at the reflexive pronouns. I match with myself. You, yourself. He, himself. She, herself. It, itself. You, yourself. We, ourself. They, themselves. This table is not changing. So you must memorize this, and it is good for you to know all the matches, and you can use it in your lesson. Okay, that's all for now, and I hope from today's lesson, you are able to use reflexive pronouns correctly in the sentences. Okay, so that's all for now. Till we meet again. Bye.